All right, I wanted to show you the concept of integer division. If you're not familiar with coding, it's something that happens when you are dealing with integers and division. Now, I've got this little program here. I declare four numbers. Three of them are integers, one of them's float. Um, Initialize number 1 to 10, number 2 to 5. Initialize number 3 to number 1 divide by number 2. Number 4 is a float in which I'm initializing to number 1 divided by number 2 as well. Now when I run this, you see 10, 5, number 3 is 2, as we'd expect, and number 4 is 2.0, which is how a float prints out. So not too exciting. Uh, in this case, dividing these integers works just like you would expect. Now, things happen though when it doesn't divide evenly. For instance, 10 divided by 3. Now when I run this, you're going to see that number 3 is 3 and number 4 is also 3. Well, I got a little problem in my code here. I need to cast one of these to a float. Okay, that's more interesting. Okay, so now in the output you see that number 3 was 3 and number 4 was 3.333, repeating. And as you'd expect, 10 divided by 3 is 3.3, but an integer can't store a decimal, so it's just truncated. Now, it's a little different than you're usually used to, which is you're probably more used to rounding instead of truncation. See if we can get a better example of it not rounding, because 0.3 would round down. Okay, here we go. So 10 divided by 4, integer division says it's 2. Um, the float version says it's 2.5. And 2.5 you would expect to round to 3. Well, in integer division, it doesn't round, it just truncates, which means the decimal portion's just left off. Sometimes this happens, when this happens, it's by accident. You don't realize that you're dealing with integers, and you try to divide something and it's truncated and you get an incorrect result. But a lot of times, when you get comfortable with this concept, you can use it to your benefit. I'll have some examples later on of how you use integer division in your coding.